So fun fact about Torri, she has a quinoa allergy and for some reason wanted to test it out last night if it still exists, and the verdict is...
It still exists.
It still exists.
Let's roll the intro.
So welcome back to Poddy Talk, the podcast
where we shit talk ourselves.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Tor.
And today we have another guest on the podcast. Can you believe people are coming on our podcast?
I'm so excited. We have Allana here.
Allana Davison, YouTube beauty guru.
A sensation in Canada, but really, truly globally as well. So this is just an exciting time.
You may know her from her love for spin cycle. That's not something. You may
good. It's called spinning. You've never done it and you don't enjoy it, but Allana and I love spinning. So
you may know her from her love for spin classes, her cat Meryl, or as a blogger, vlogger, or anything, auger.
Wow.
That's her bio. I'm just quoting that. We're so excited to have her on. We're gonna pick her brain, chat all things
Poddy Talk.
Really, yeah, just chatting all things Poddy Talk. But before we get started, we want to talk to you guys a bit about Roar because, you know, we drink these every episode. We're obsessed with them.
And this episode is brought to you by Roar Organic Canada. Roar Organic is the next generation of premium electrolyte beverages for millennial hustlers like you. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder or looking to tear it down, hitting the gym or hitting the pavement, Roar Organic has the ingredients for success. It's got organic electrolytes for faster hydration, antioxidants to protect against free radicals, and B vitamins to help you be a go-getter.
I actually drink these all the time. You know I'm so obsessed with them. Sometimes I'll grab one after a workout to replenish my electrolytes or even just to go along with my lunch. Since they're so low in sugar with no preservatives or artificial flavors, it's the perfect alternative to water or other sugar-packed beverages.
Now, since we want our Poddy Talk listeners to try this beverage out, we're hosting a giveaway over on our Instagram. So one lucky winner will receive a case of Roar. To enter, go to @PoddyTalkPodcast on Instagram and go to the most recent post or the post with the caption episode 20. Can't believe we're on episode 20. Giveaway, and all the details on how to enter for a chance to win Roar will be on the post. Good luck to everybody.
This is gonna
Let's get into this episode.
This is gonna be a good one. Shall we just hop on into it?
It's gonna get shangsty. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Hello. Okay, welcome to Poddy Talk, Allana.
Rama.
You guys, that intro was so kind.
You were actually the first person we thought of, which please take this as a compliment. We're like, we need to have someone on Poddy Talk. Allana.
I know.
No, but it's so true because you always, whether it's on your Instagram stories, through your YouTube content, like you really just have such a specific way of
talking about my poop.
Talking about shitting.
No, that's like literally when you said that.
Telling honest stories, which is honestly the foundation and the fundamentals.
But you do break the barrier of being like beauty guru and then sharing those like really real moments, whether it's you, sweating after your ride class, being like, I have a pimple. What do you call your pimples again? It's
Cecilia and Shirley.
Cecilia.
They've had many names.
They're not here today. Your skin looks fabulous.
Thank God.
They're gone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they're gone. They're very.
But no, it's really admirable, and it's always stood out to me. So you were truly the first person. We're like, we need you on the potty.
No, it's so legit. I'm very starstruck walking in here. I was like, wow, you guys, this is cool. This is really cool.
Well, we're so happy to have you here. Maybe you can start by kind of chatting through a bit of your career, how you got to where you are today, give our audience a little bit of an intro into all things Allana.
The influencer life.
Yes.
Well, I started, listen, I didn't wear makeup ever. I was like a sports playing little jockey kid in high school, and I was always, girls would put bronzer on like before a basketball game and wear foundation, and I'd be like,
It was me.
And I was like, what are you doing? Like, well, maybe you could, I'm too sweaty for that.
No, same, I wouldn't.
I could never, it would just be all over my jersey. So when I went to university, that was when I was really introduced to the world of makeup, and it really changed my life because I'm like such an insecure little bean, and I was like, wow, makeup, like I can look beautiful, this is amazing.
A confidence builder.
And I found YouTube. I used to watch like the transformation videos. What's her name? Promise Fawn. She used to like just turn herself into like Drake and whatever, and I loved watching those videos.
Isn't that like Michelle Phan's cousin?
It's her sister-in-law.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew there was a connection.
She's married to her brother. And I was like, oh my gosh, this makeup world. I remember Googling how to do a smoky eye because I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, wait, I'm funny. Like, I want to make videos. I want to share my experience with this. And
so wait, what year is this in? This is like...
Well, I started my YouTube channel in 2013.
Oh, okay.
So it was... Like, I started university in 2011. I'm so old. And that was like my year of discovery, self-discovery, and drinking myself into an oblivion. And, you know,
that's not for you.
Except recently on the pod, I talked about how that was my favorite year of my life.
What, your first
Yeah, I go
year?
first year of university. Oh, I'd relive that any day.
Those are the golden
Honestly,
days.
I
baby.
envy people like you who like enjoyed school. I was like, that is like, I've blacked that from my memory.
Yeah.
forever.
You're done.
But yeah, no, and then it was throughout university. I did it for fun. It was a total hobby, like
Yeah.
escape thing for me. I loved making videos. I had a totally different persona, like, I don't know, it was a weird thing.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
like
In
outfits, and
life,
I was
yeah.
like, this is my YouTube look. Like, I don't know, it was
that's
funny,
great.
but-
Did people know about it, or did you keep it a secret from all your university friends?
No, I used to share it on Facebook.
Oh.
I'd be like, everyone, all family, look at my videos.
Wow.
Wee."
Aw.
And they were brutal. I
Facebook,
like,
the original trend.
honestly, and I've made them all private. Like all my old videos
Oh,
are private
really?
because I hated it. Because when you Google my name, all
Those
my
would come
old
up?
videos would come up, and I'm like, no, this isn't me.
This is not a reflection of my work.
So I just made them all private, and sometimes I go back and it's like,
What was
oh,
the first
boy.
one? Do you remember? Like, was it a what's in my
Yeah,
bag?
no,
or
it was a summer glow makeup look, very much still on brand.
Yeah, that's still you.
Summertime. And it was filmed on my cell phone vertically, so it has the
Oh.
black.
You were doing IGTV before you knew IGTV was a
honestly,
thing.
It was
You were ahead of your time.
It was so bad.
Oh.
You guys have to watch it. It's
Yeah,
actually
you'll need to hit me with
hilarious.
that unlisted
no
link.
voices, it's to music.
Oh, you just like a
like-
time lapse?
Yep. I don't
Oh.
even think I knew how to do a time lapse.
Oh, it was just jump cuts.
Slow-mo, whatever. Anyway.
That's still my
We've
editing
learned and
style.
grown
Yeah.
since then. And then it was just lucky. By the time I graduated in, 2016, it took me a long time to finish school, I went into it full time.
That's amazing.
So-
What'd you actually go to school for?
Well, many things. Engineering first,
Right.
and
I
then
did know this.
chemistry, and then I did communications. So my degree's in communications, which
And-
is a long shot from what I started.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you were in school in Calgary, right?
Yeah, went to school in Calgary.
So incredible.
Simply because I couldn't go to UBC because I never took a second language in high school.
Oh, you didn't
Oh.
have French.
It's a BC requirement that you have
That's
to have a second
crazy.
language. After grade 9, after it was not required, I was like, see you later. I'm not taking this. So
Oh, so you have to do something on top of grade 9 French.
right up till grade 12.
Oh.
Yeah, it's required that you have a second language. as
I would
an
not have done
elective.
that.
I do.
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about it.
struggling
What do you
over here.
speak?
Just French.
You
She's
fully
ri-
speak French?
Yeah, I
Did I
can-
know this?
I don't know, but I'm trying to learn Polish because my boyfriend's Polish, and I just think that's like
That's so cool.
we just want a secret language so we can talk shit about people and they don't know.
So they can potty talk
Okay,
off
but
the
it's
pod.
also like Dan is Serbian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I don't learn Serbian, you're gonna have a secret language against me with our future children.
Yeah,
and
Right.
that is
talk
so
about that.
rude.
That's
Right.
so
Yeah,
rude.
no.
And Adam always says that he would want his kids to learn Polish for obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
I just wonder then my
You're gonna
kids
be the
are,
odd one
I'm
out.
the one that is left out. So
Yeah.
sure.
No,
Definitely
you have
fuck
to.
that, and
Okay, so
I
how are
don't
you
learn
doing it? What's your game plan here?
Oh, I haven't started, but
Duolingo,
I've heard the
isn't
app.
it?
Yeah,
Duolingo.
My aunt does that and tries to learn Italian. So every night she's like,
I could do that. Or I'm someone that just loves like the tradition of classrooms. So I think I'd do really well in like a 6-week intensive Polish learning
she
class.
would have her
You're a go-getter.
backpack.
You know what I'm
and-
saying?
You're a
And sit and
go-getter,
go
yeah.
every day and learn it. And then I would take a 1-month trip to Poland right after that to really, go and indulge in the culture,
Does
practice.
he fully speak it? Like,
Yeah,
you
it's
could-
his first language. And
That's
then
so cool.
French and then English.
Doesn't that make you feel so bad about yourself? I'm like, I can barely
English
speak
third
English.
I
language.
can barely speak
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
Wow.
struggling with one.
He doesn't come across to me as like someone like I would have never
I
known
know.
that if you
Yeah.
hadn't told me. That's
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
know, it's so crazy.
Wow, my sweet neighbor.
I know.
Yo, I've been seeing
Yeah,
him
they're
so
neighbors,
much lately.
guys. Allana and Adam are neighbors. It's hilarious.
Well, when I was
I've recently seen you in my
Yeah.
parking garage. That's the only
Yeah.
time
We ran
I've
into
seen
each
Only
other in
what?
the front yard, and I actually got scared. I thought someone was coming to run me over.
Oh,
and
you
I,
told me
I
this.
jumped out of the way, and Adam
Well,
goes,
because I came in honking.
and Adam goes, "Why are you running? That's your friend."
He's like, oh geez.
oh my god.
Yeah. So speaking of, how has that transition been? Moving to Toronto. You're from Vancouver originally.
Yeah.
What's that been like?
Well, I mean, we love it. Like, this was supposed to be temporary, as
Yeah.
you guys know. Like,
Yeah.
I was supposed to move home back in April. It was only supposed to be a 6-month adventure, and we were just
Yeah.
like, no, Toronto is where it is. This is so much
Wow.
fun. And I had always, shit on Ontario, because everyone, like, when you travel,
Yeah.
like, being from the West Coast, you're very, like, you're into that fact, you know?
Totally.
And when you
West
travel,
Coast is the
people
best
are like,
coast.
oh, you're from Canada? You're from Toronto? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's other places other than
Yeah.
Toronto people. So I always
Totally.
had this, like, inherent hate
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then when I came here, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get that
Super
why this
special.
is like where everyone comes and
Yeah.
no and
So you've had a good transition then.
yeah we've signed another year. We're here for the foreseeable
We've
future.
gotcha.
That's
So it's so nice.
Very
it's so
cool.
good.
So on Poddy Talk, we like to shit talk ourselves because, that's really fun.
That's really just the premise and birth of this podcast.
So do you want to share a story in your career, maybe like a failure or something that you learned from that really like set you on track or, influenced you to move in a different direction?
So I was thinking about that deeply, and I was kind of like, the whole failure thing, I don't feel like I've had a failure.
Wait, that's beautiful.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
YouTube for me has been sharing my life. It's not like it's been a career. It's not been a job. Like, the whole aspect of it has just been me filming my day. So there's many things that I've like certainly learned from and grown from and have changed in my life. But that's like, I've been growing up on YouTube and people have been growing up with me. So I'm like, is that a failure or is that just growing up, Right. But there's so many things like that I look back and even just watching the first video, I'm like, this is brutal. There's so many things I would have maybe done differently, but then if you had done it differently, would your life have happened the way it did? So I don't know. Yeah. But so many embarrassing things, always. Like, I was even thinking of like, just in terms of like sponsorships and whatever. Like,
we've all done a bad sponsorship.
That's the failure. I'm like, why did I ever say yes to this? Why did I do this? Why did I think that was a good idea?
Right.
It's brutal. Hide, delete, goodbye. What's the contract? How long does this have to be live?
Do you remember that first email you got where it was like, hey, we want to offer you, whether it be product at first or the first time a company reached out to you?
Oh.
What was that moment and what did it look like?
I think actually the first time someone ever sent me something was one of those airbrush machines.
Oh yeah,
that's really intense.
Yeah,
the first gift,
which is so funny.
And those are quite expensive.
Yeah. It was
like a proper airbrushing machine.
No, like
for the
like the makeup artist thing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that was so cool, and I was like, oh no. Why did I do this? This is hilarious. But the first sponsorship I ever did was actually so nice. Am I allowed to say? Like,
yeah, of course.
It was with oh my God, it was with Market Mall. It was like Cadillac Fairview.
Oh.
And I had 3 different jobs at this mall, like over university.
That's
and so
amazing.
that was my first sponsorship. It was doing my New Year's intentions.
Wow.
Oh, and what is it, to shop more at the mall?
I actually don't remember what the premise was.
How did that tie in?
I know. Like,
sponsored by the mall.
My first one was Scotiabank, which like
that's
I always
so cool.
I know, and they emailed me and they were like, "Hey, like we'd love to work with you." And I remember just like jaw on the ground, like I was shocked. I didn't even know what to say.
Oh, that's great.
It was like people offering you money to do it. I was like, wait, what?
I think I was in first year university at the time, and I was living off allowance from my parents, like a monthly allowance.
Oh my God.
And like my own personal like savings, but like whatever, really living off my allowance.
Right.
And then they were like, yeah, we'll just like give you, I forget what it was, maybe $500 for a photo, and I was like,
incredible. That's
huge.
great.
I'm like, what do you mean?
I was like,
I was $500 for a whole video.
Yeah.
I know.
For a year-long exclusivity. Take my money.
I remember at the time just being shocked. I was like, oh my God. And I didn't think it would turn into a career by no means. I just thought I'd be able to maybe afford a few more drinks at the bar that week. But like,
especially no wonder you got a good first year in university.
Yeah, she was making that Scotiabank point.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the first like paid thing I did. I think it would have been a YouTube video versus Instagram stuff. But I remember the first moment when someone had reached out for to gift like product. And at the time I was debating because it would have been like around December. I was 16, just turning 17.
16.
I know.
But you finished high school early, so technically you were like a free bird.
Yeah, I was like debating whether I should go to school. I took a gap year, blah, blah, blah. And I was debating if I should go to university, which would have led me to Torri's program. We would have been in the same year in the same program, which would have been
we had this theory that we would have hated each other.
Yeah, we think maybe we wouldn't have been friends if we would have been enemies.
No,
it could have gone either way.
No,
we're too similar.
Like magnets. Yeah.
But and then I was debating, and I ended up was like, should I go to makeup school? Should I just enroll or do this program that I was accepted into? Like, or should I change my life? Blah blah blah. Go to makeup school. Blah blah blah. And then this makeup company had reached out. They're like, hey, we saw you did like a YouTube video about this. Like, would you like to try some of our new lipsticks? And I was like, what's the catch here? Like, I didn't understand. I had no concept of the world, how it worked. Like,
and it was also so new.
Totally. This would have been like 2014. So it was like right on the cusp of I feel like it being very like public
Popular.
knowledge.
Yeah.
And so I like didn't really get why they would want to send me lipsticks. And I remember coming home that day and they probably sent maybe like 10 lipsticks, which is very generous, especially at the time. But like now I think we are so used to that, especially being in the beauty industry. But I remember I came home and I was like, this is incredible, this deep purple color that I will never wear, but like I love it. And like,
no, but even then, like swatching was still such a thing. It would just be like, this is satisfying simply for its swatch.
Totally. And
Therefore,
at the time, I would have had like 2 lipsticks. Like I didn't have an extensive makeup collection. So to me, I was like, this just quadrupled all of the makeup that I own. Like I could not understand
How
that.
do you feel about products now? Because obviously, like we've talked
God,
about
I
this
could go
actually
on.
the pod, like about how much waste and packaging, and how it's so frustrating to us because I feel like now it's products that get shoved to us that we are not even choosing to look at. It's like I never approved to not only endorse your product, I never even asked to try it.
And then they email you and ask you why you're not.
And they follow
Yeah,
up. And they're
you're
like, have
like,
you
I
received
don't-
the package? You haven't talked about it, blah, blah, blah. And
like, but-
it'll often be like, you know, it'll be through a PR agency where you have one deal with, and then they send you things from all the other brands. And I'm like, I didn't want any of this.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what, I could
And also,
really...
that wasn't a part of the deal. This is not some handshake where if we're doing a partnership,
It's not in
with somebody
kind,
else,
yeah.
it's not.
But then it's offensive. You don't
Exactly.
accept it. I
Yeah.
know. It's such a what's the phrase? Oh God.
Catch-22?
Sure.
Oh.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I always feel like
Walking
it's,
on eggshells.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly.
You don't know
You're
what to-
navigating these personal relationships with people because they get personally offended because they're the ones that are writing up all these handwritten cards. And I
Totally.
get both ends of it. It definitely is like
I
a
see both
weird.
No, you know what?
Give and take.
I feel like this has obviously been I like Samantha.
Yes.
Really like kick-started the whole wave of anti-PR,
Yeah.
which I'm like slow clap for because it's such a different climate. Even when you're talking about 2014, it's like I remember going to Sephora and making my purchases, and it would be like, I have 5 bronzers to choose from, and it was like, which one am I going to spend my money on? This is crazy. So a new product was really so exciting.
Yes,
when
I
someone
agree.
came out with a new line of lipsticks,
Everyone
like,
knew about it.
excited.
Yeah.
holy crap, like 4 highlighters, what do you mean? This is
Yeah.
amazing. Like it really was such an exciting time, and now, for the first time in history,
Yeah.
there are so many brands, there are so many products, there is nothing new anymore, truly. And
Yeah.
the problem is that
and we're all just living in excess now.
Yeah.
It's like,
But the
Use it
problem
once.
is that when we've been spending years like developing these relationships with people like behind the brands, you really do see the work and effort and the love that they put into the products they're making, and so it's kind of I'm about to combust because I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Because I know that all of these products really are great, but like I can't.
How
I
many
can't
great red
physically
lipsticks can a girl
I
use?
don't
Yeah.
want it. I don't want it. So
Yeah.
now, like, I've just been like, no, please don't send me anymore. Honestly, love you. I'm sure your products
Yeah.
are great. I don't want it.
And that's the hard part too, is that like some of the new innovations that are coming out like shock me how good they are, but it also is hard for exactly what you're saying. It's like I've fallen into habits of brands I love and things that I do, and it's hard for me now, like I do have that sense of like brand loyalty in a way. It's hard for me to try new things and fall in love with it. But then now with all this technology and all this amazing work that these brands are doing, you try something and you're like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But then it's so hard because
There's 10
it's
amazing.
so saturated in the market. Like, how do you even talk
And
about this
even
Yeah.
and then when you're talking about it in video, like I know my biggest problem is like I really do like it. I'll do
Yeah.
the first impressions. I'm like, this is amazing, and then it goes into my pile of another 80 foundations that I have,
Totally.
and habitually I just
Go for the
I
one
just
that
go
you
to the one I
love.
always use.
Totally.
Like I just use
Same
the same
way.
one simply because I just can't choose.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Decision fatigue. It's honestly such a real thing. I talk about this all the
Yes.
time. Having too many
Okay,
choices that you
yes.
just like settle back to your
Same thing
default.
when it comes to my closet. Like I know I get a lot of shit for selling stuff on Depop and whatever. Because,
Wait, do you?
Oh.
For what?
Yeah.
What
Like
reason
clothing?
though?
just I always try to condense and slim down my wardrobe
Yeah.
and the things I have because decision fatigue. I love that title. I've never heard that. I'm like, yes.
I didn't coin it, but I will take it.
I can't choose. I could happily wear like the same turtleneck every single
Yeah.
day and never
Right.
think twice about it. But I then go in phases where we like go on brand trips or we go to events and I'm
want,
like,
like, cute
everyone's
outfits.
fabulous. Everyone's so fabulous. And I feel so like shitty in my like plain.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Canadians in general, Torri, I feel like you can't speak.
Yeah,
English.
she's
you're
definitely
like
outlier.
the dress
At all.
queen.
No, but Canadian
My closet is to the brim and it will not ever change.
Canadian dress code is not the same as like
I wear a
America.
blazer, like I wear this,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I feel fabulous.
Yeah.
Fine. But then you go to a trip in LA or
like
somewhere,
Fashion
and I'm
Nova,
like,
blue,
oh
chim,
my
mm.
god, like it's so. Sometimes I just go. I kind of
Yeah.
lost my train, but
No, that's
I go
true.
back and forth, and so sometimes I'll go through phases where I buy a bunch of stuff, and then I'll come back to my roots and be like, wait, I don't need all this.
Yeah.
Get rid of all of it, whatever, and then it just.
So you go through phases.
Yeah, I don't know, but the same thing when it comes to makeup. It's just like I always go back to my same.
Tried and true.
Since we are in such like a consumer-driven industry, whether it be through makeup, clothes, always having the newest, greatest thing, do you find yourself leaning more into that, or because you're in the world, you're like, I don't even want to like go out and buy things, or like?
No, I prefer to buy things than be sent it, because then I feel like I can say what I want if I'm spending my money on it, and then when I'm getting these like follow-up emails for PR packages, I'm like, excuse me, I didn't want this. You didn't ask me if I wanted it. Don't follow up. Yeah. And ask me if I've tried this and if I'm going to post it. Because
if you have any stories about it, and you're like,
Yeah.
No.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm like, I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
No, I love buying, and I think that's ultimately like where I want to head, is just like.
Well, I talk about this all the time in more the traditional media world, because I'm someone that still pays for cable. Like I pay a full cable bill every month.
Yeah.
And I talk about supporting an industry that you want to be in, and it's like what you're saying, like like I love the beauty industry and I love these products and I want to talk about them in an honest way, so I think putting your money where your mouth is and buying the product to talk about it is so great, and I think that's so important to have people doing that, because I don't think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, well, and there's a weird stigma too, or like a faux pas against it, where if it's gifted, people just assume, like your viewer assumes that you're speaking positively about it because it was
gifted.
Actually, and I'm like, that's so not the case. I just
I actually hate this new wave of like hashtag not sponsored. It's like, wait, now we have to call out when we're just talking.
Or it's like, so what? Are you saying that your sponsorships then aren't authentic? If you have to be like, I swear this isn't sponsored. Exactly. It's like, okay, so you don't believe in your sponsorships?
Like even yesterday, like I bought new rings and I posted on my Instagram. And people were like, oh, are these gifted? You didn't put it. I'm like, no, I freaking bought them, and if I put that it was an ad, I would put that it was an ad.
And you're very good about that, actually. Like,
but the reason, this is why it's bitten me in the ass.
Yeah.
Because
we were talking about this in New York.
If I just forget, or if I'm like, okay, I've already worn this shirt.
I've
already said it's gifted. You know? And then people will be like, well, you didn't say if it was or not. And I'm like, I'm so tired.
People care that much.
Yeah, or on the flip side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like this is a part of the job. It's not like you're being dishonest. You got a shirt.
And also, you're being more transparent than most people. Like, I don't even put when everything is gifted.
I never say. I mean, never. Like, I won't be like, oh, this experience. I won't even really say experiences. Like, if I'm at a Leafs game and someone gave me tickets, I won't be like, gifted.
Yeah,
even though I probably should.
I started doing it just because the UK got absolutely shit on.
Yeah, and I think there's.
And they have to. We have no, fun fact for anyone who doesn't know, we have no guidelines.
Yeah.
I remember I said that once, and someone sent me this like pamphlet being like, yes, you do. And I'm like, yeah, but they're not enforced. There's no enforcement in Canada. So we don't actually have to do anything. We don't have to disclaim anything. This is fully out of our own goodwill that we are telling
Well, and it's because you value your relationship with your audience, that you're like, hey, just so you know, I didn't pay for this, or hey, this was gifted by the brand, or whatever. And like, I think that's actually so admirable, and you actually make me reflect on my own behaviors, because I'm like, oh, like, no, but you really do in a positive way, because, you know, sometimes it's very easy to like share this very specific lifestyle, whether it's on your Instagram stories, doing all these amazing things, but it's also like, this isn't reality. This is because this brand is taking me here, because like, I'm not doing this just on my own, you know?
And it actually really made me feel better, because as someone who's trying to, you know, poorly navigate this influencer world, and seeing there's so many like beautiful, amazing bloggers and people in our industry, you know, and it specifically people in the UK, when they started having to disclose so openly, and they were putting like hashtag loaned, I was like, whoa, I did not know you didn't buy that dress. Like, here I was thinking I wasn't being able to afford like these gorgeous Dior gowns and whatever, and I'm like, and they're loaning it to you. It's not even a gift. I was like,
you're giving that back.
Opened my eyes. Yeah. So that's why I started doing it, because I'm like, we get gifted so much shit. I mean, when it comes to clothing, I'm always like very stoked, because you know, I'm like, oh, shop up, you want to give me? I'm like, okay, hell yeah.
No, of course.
So I don't mind, like, I'm excited to be like, I got this as a gift. Absolutely, you don't need to like spend your money on this. Like, no normal human
is going to buy a $400 sweater on Monday.
Exactly. And so people who are putting up that illusion that they are able to afford this and stuff, I think it's to their own detriment.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we talk about this all the time. Like, we'll hit up Zara and return the dress the same day. Like, if you're doing a shoot and you just need
100%. You do clothing
that
polls.
It's like styling.
Exactly.
A part of our curation as influencers is that it has to be overly styled and like kind of like a highlight reel.
Right.
So like we talk about that all the time. I don't think there's any shame in that.
I have two closets
now,
Yeah.
where I have my everyday, like my wardrobe,
Right.
and then in my studio I have like filming tops, because certain campaigns, certain ads,
Yeah.
like if I'm doing lipstick swatches, whatever, and I want to switch it up, I have tops that I would never wear outside,
Right.
but
they're
that
just
look great in a
on
photo.
camera.
Totally.
And you see that as a job. It's a tax write off. It's a business expense.
Totally.
That's
It's a strategy.
the video wardrobe.
Totally.
So-
Yeah. What is your favorite platform right now? Is it YouTube? Has it always been YouTube?
I'm in a frustrated place with YouTube.
Okay.
But it is.
Why?
Is it Musically? No.
Oh my
TikTok.
God.
It's TikTok.
Do you do TikTok? Are
No,
you
but
TikTokers?
we want to be TikTokers. Should we be TikTokers?
I don't understand it.
It's like amazing. It's like
No.
I'm obsessed
No.
with it. Yes,
No.
it's so good.
No.
It's like Vine but
love
better.
Vine.
It's Vine but better.
I spend my
We-
life watching
were we
Vine
already
compilations.
arguing about this? I feel
Yes,
like we have
yes,
already.
absolutely. Vine
I'm-
compilations, I will never get over the fact
so
that
good.
Vine was ruined. And TikTok, they'll be like, the YouTube videos will be like TikTok videos that are
See?
like Vine.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, no, this is horrible.
What is TikTok? Sorry.
She's
I don't even
sweet
know.
kid. It's basically okay. So it started out as Musically, and it was I think
Oh, so it was Musically.
it was.
Don't act like I'm.
It's
But that's just people like lip
rebranded.
syncing.
Yeah, so it
to
started as
songs.
like lip syncing the songs, and then you
You'd be
had
good
these.
at that.
Whoa.
Thanks.
Like-
It would be.
Well, okay.
Oh, I thought you were saying like, yeah, you'd be way better at TikTok.
With my
than-
like weird faces.
Actually, you do.
Faces, the
Well,
Musically, you'd be good at
But
it.
that's the thing. I was like, what is? I can't believe there's a whole app for this, and I can't believe it took like the entire younger
But
generation by
think,
storm.
if I was
Totally.
11, I would have been on that app and thriving. I used to make like DIY music videos, like with my
No, that's
friends.
true.
Like if
junior
you're
high,
if you're
that was a big
12,
thing.
TikTok is if you're 25, TikTok is everything. Like I am so
I guess
I
I
am
need to
team
download
TikTok.
it and see what it's about because I.
you'll get. It's
Comment
incredible.
below if you want us all to become famous. On
If you
TikTok.
if you want to potty chat
Jaclyn,
TikTok,
I need. Have you posted anything?
I might have a secret account if you guys.
Do you?
No,
Oh,
no,
that
I
would've been
wish.
so good.
I would be like, pull it up right now.
Wait, that's what we should do
hilarious.
whenever we have a guest on Potty Talk. We have to film a TikTok with them.
How long are they?
They're like 6 seconds. It's like similar to Vine. Or like,
they are 6 seconds.
well, actually, they're not. I don't think they're necessarily only 6 seconds. Maybe they're 10. I don't know if there's a time limit. I'm not a true. I'm a
we've
fake fan.
digressed. Why do you not?
Yeah,
like YouTube
enough.
right
We're
now?
not TikTokers, guys.
Right. Oh, so YouTube. It's just the industry in general right now. It's at a point where we're all. It was all so new at one point.
Right.
And now I've been filming the same shit for 7 years.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, where do I go
From
now?
here.
So it's
Yeah.
just been trying to think like, am I gonna have a rebrand? Am I
get
gonna start
re-inspired.
talking? Yeah.
We talked
And
about this.
I don't know. I think Instagram has kind of always been my favorite app.
Yeah. As a
Even
user.
though as a user,
Yeah.
like I
interesting.
love looking through Instagram. It is so easy. It's so quick. I love watching stories. I love Snapchat.
Yeah.
I had a big Snapchat moment for 2 years. That was like my main steez.
Wow.
And then Instagram kind of just
Took
ate
over.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Bye.
feel like I do love the stories portion of Instagram.
I love stories too.
Yeah.
And I've been taking a more comedic approach to Instagram, which has made me a lot
that's why I
happier with it.
You posted like
Yeah.
your candids, like the ones that like I would probably go through and delete. You post them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is iconic. And just be like,
Well, even what were you talking about? It was like your hairline or something, and you were like, oh yeah, like I edit my.
oh yeah,
head.
no, I
And I was
literally.
like, wait, what? This is a thing?
Okay, on Facetune. So I was wearing extensions one day, and I was talking about how I've been wearing them for the past week, like just to make my hair look more full, because in photos, my hair photographs so flat. No. This is real today. This is real.
This is
Today.
Oh, that's nice.
But because what I would start to do in photos, it would look so flat to my head. So I would like on Facetune use the like
yeah,
reshape tool and like pop it up so it looked like more voluminous. And I'm like, wait, why don't I just wear extensions in real life so it does that?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's like the part of Instagram, which it's like part of it is you're making this beautiful photo and it's like art. But then also part of it's just like I'm portraying, I'm not
Right,
real.
but you're like an artist. You are a makeup artist, so I
Okay,
understand
face
that.
tuning my head is not me being an
but,
artist
like,
though.
It's more so. I remember who that Linda Hallberg, whatever chick.
Who?
She's where's she from? You would so know her in the makeup space. She's like an OG Instagram or whatever.
Canadian?
Amazing makeup. No, she's like from the
Wait, I
somewhere,
feel
like
so
Sweden
weird
or
that-
Netherlands or something. I'll show you after.
That's crazy that
She has
I-
like Linda Hallberg cosmetics and everything now. Yeah.
Oh, I'm under a rock
Yeah.
fully.
So I remember her, like, she struggled with, like, acne, like cystic
Yeah.
acne, and she's like, I'm a makeup artist, like, I'm portraying my art. This
Right.
zit is temporary. Like, I'm removing it because this is not what like my canvas would always
Sure.
look like, whatever. And I was like, that's a good point. I understand that, but
But then you have people like Sam who don't edit it anymore, and this whole podcast is just going to be a whole thing about Sam, but I really feel like she is, for me also, like someone who is very pivotal in the industry, whether she's saying no to PR, whether she's like, hey, here's a photo, here's how I would edit it, here's how I actually look.
Yeah.
Like, I think there is a lot of value in that, though.
Absolutely.
So it is like a double-edged sword.
Especially for like younger kids who are growing up. Like I didn't have Instagram in high school. If I did, I would have been absolutely miserable.
We say this
certain.
all the time.
Oh, I had Instagram in high school, guys.
But it wasn't this, like, I feel like Instagram just started, like, my final year.
I got Instagram second year university. That was the first time, like, that was the first time I got an iPhone.
Late
that was
adopter,
when,
for sure.
you know, like, no, what do you mean? I'm old.
Oh.
It's
Years
like
have
3
gone
years.
on
It's
and
like
Allana
3 years.
doesn't have
an
But that's like a 3-year difference.
No, totally.
I remember, like, the first, I'm sure it wasn't the first iPhone, but Instagram was a new thing.
Yeah.
Instagram came up, like, I feel like it was really popping in the 2013, 2014. Like, I think I might have got mine in 2011.
It took me it was a lot to give up my BlackBerry, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I
True,
was big
the
on Twitter. That's really where I was living.
Yeah, and
in
you're
high
not
school.
on it. I've been DMing you hilarious memes for like a year now, and you haven't
I
opened
know.
any of them.
It's because I was addicted to Twitter in high school to a point where
Her tweets are crazy.
My mom was like, "You literally need to stop tweeting every 5 minutes."
Oh my god.
But like her,
Every time I did something, I would go tweet about it.
we went
and
through
it
your
was so
archive.
dumb.
We went through your archive one day. So you know, if on Twitter, if you go to the search bar, you can type from, like colon at Torri Webster, and then type in a keyword. So whether it's like,
either. She taught me that.
yeah, so you can basically it'll pull up any tweet that has the word like
School in it.
yeah.
I
So
lost
I think
that
we did search school. So it was like her and like whatever, grade 10. First day of grade 10, got my OPI nail polish on and my binders ready to go. And like they're just hilarious, amazing tweets.
And it's like photos. I'll like take photos like in class.
I
Like,
need to see this.
oh, it's so
too
good.
much. Like
I need to see this.
But here, let's
But also
do you.
the fact
Go
that
on
you like no, I deleted my old Twitter.
Do you not have Twitter?
No, my old one.
Oh.
Because I too in high school, I remember like grade 9, 10, like beating, and I was
well,
like,
I would tweet about like men that I loved. Like,
What's a
I'd be
keyword
like,
that will pull up some funny stuff? Do we want like Gossip Girl? I feel like you could be like.
I feel like I
That'll be a
always
good
talk
one.
about Gossip
You're
Girl.
So yeah, you got to type in from and then at whatever the handle
Wait,
is.
is this mine?
This is
Oh.
you. Coffee and Gossip Girl cures anything.
you were drinking coffee in 2014.
This is what I'm saying. It was crazy.
Gossip Girl returns today, and I cannot be happier. That's in 2012.
Oh,
Met Georgina from Gossip Girl last night. With the girl emoji.
you're about as irrelevant as Vanessa was in Gossip Girl. Who was that about? Who was that about?
That's what I'm saying. They're so
Yo.
funny. Just need some Greek yogurt and Gossip Girl time right now. Wow, I'm unusual. It's amazing though.
Wait, how old were you in 2012? What was this? Give me
I was
context
born in
here.
1996, so I don't know.
I can't even think of that.
Do the math. I don't
Oh,
know.
you were 16. Oh.
Like it's like enough to be embarrassed.
I
by.
love
be
that
embarrassed.
so much.
I'm old enough that I should be embarrassed.
But I mean, we all have
literally
it.
turn people into Gossip Girl addicts. Hashtag I have a gift.
It's so
Hashtag
good.
inspiring the young.
What? No, tell me why that has 28 retweets. Wait, I'm gonna retweet that right now.
Oh,
that's perfect.
I hate that we're doing this right now.
No. 90210 Gossip Girl in Turkey. Man, this day could not get better.
Oh,
And Turkey?
my gosh.
Oh my god, it's just like Gossip
my
Girl
gosh.
and food
Why
combinations.
do I
Happy
keep
Thanksgiving.
weird things?
But you know what?
You really loved Gossip Girl.
Spent my day watching
still
Gossip
do.
Girl,
I
tumbling
watched,
and
never
shopping
seen it.
online.
What? I literally watch
hashtag
it every
converting
day.
the young.
Like when I make coffee in the morning,
Whoa.
I put Gossip Girl in the
Where
background
do
She
you
falls
watch it?
asleep to it.
on my television. Where do you watch TV?
Well, no,
No,
like,
she
where,
like
it's
buys
old, so
the-
where do you watch it
Oh,
now?
Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Yes.
Oh.
All 6 seasons. You should really maybe start the pilot episode today. Let me know how you think it goes.
Well, guys,
Well,
this is
but-
how the rest of my week's
Converting the
gonna
young.
go.
Converting the-
Inspiring
Watch,
the
you're gonna love
young.
it. You're gonna love
Oh, was it inspiring the young? I got it wrong.
Inspiring the young.
But it's so, but this is what I love also about the internet. As embarrassing as it is, it's kind of amazing to have this digital archive of who you were and like what was important to you at that time.
It's like I actually don't mind because I was pretty PG about my life. I never
Same.
shared anything that would have gotten me in trouble.
Same. I was always
See,
very.
that's the thing.
Actually, there were some Facebook images that were definitely questionable, but
Like-
and those are dedefinitely somewhere in the cloud. But
I remember taking.
Wait, what's your darkest
Well, no, I
internet
remember taking.
sharing?
We were in some course. Like once I started doing communications in
Yeah.
university, I remember taking a course being like, oh, this is gonna like brutally impact your future, like what you've put online, blah, blah, blah.
Totally.
And I remember Googling, like, my Twitter, and I was like, oh, God. Oh, God.
delete.
Deleted my old Twitter, deleted my own Facebook.
Oh no. Were you just like running your mouth?
I didn't even want to know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know because it had been so long.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm not going to like scroll because I used to be a Twitter freak.
Yeah.
But I remember I used to like the comedy was different.
And
at
sometimes
that time.
humor doesn't
Yeah,
translate.
you know,
That's true.
So
People,
it's
well, I
like-
say people are just really, really sensitive these days.
Yeah,
so
and
no one
even
can
like
be
all
funny.
these politicians and
I
celebrities,
know.
people are pulling up old things, and I'm
know.
like, man, like we weren't
Imagine I
being.
try to be a politician later in life and someone goes,
Gossip Girl and Greek yogurt.
all tweets by Torri Webster.
Oh God! So I just didn't. I didn't know it was there. I didn't want to know what someone could find. I was never racist or anything. Like I know it's
Yeah.
not that kind of stuff, but it's just I don't know.
No, still, it's like not how you want to be represented. And what
Yeah.
is scary with anything being on the internet is that someone can pull something that you did from 2010 or something you said in a video or posted or whatever, and now that is you current day. And they go, well, you said this then, so that must be how you feel or must be what you.
Exactly.
And whether it
this
be
is
with
another
products,
public service
opinion.
announcement for all listeners. Go fix your LinkedIn's right now. Go
Oh,
and fix your
like
LinkedIn's.
wait, what was that? What
I'm
sparked that?
thinking about it because I was at a tech conference all week, like listening to people speak. Michelle Obama, Chris Hadfield,
Flex on me harder.
Martha Stewart.
Oh, wow.
And so many of these people were saying, you know, the presence that people have online is so not professional always, and
True.
and it's not that your platforms necessarily have to be, but I think when you go to a platform like a LinkedIn, it should look as professional as possible, because then someone will say, oh, that's a
Do
great.
you use LinkedIn?
Yes.
For what?
But only through like only because of like my university stuff, because I put like research projects, my thesis, like different
Oh,
areas
you
of
did, like,
interest.
actual things in
Yeah, and
your-
like where I interned.
Oh, you've actually done great things in your life.
Like,
Can't
wait,
relate.
oh, okay.
No, I just mean if someone is listening
Yeah.
and they're thinking about, you know, maybe what line of work they would want to get into, definitely update that LinkedIn.
I don't know where that train of thought came from, but I'm glad that you shared that to
I
our
think it'll really
listeners.
help people.
Thank you.
I
A
think you
professional
really,
photo.
you really don't talk about how much you do outside of like the Instagram space. And I know
Yeah.
we went for dinner that one
Yeah.
day, and you were like, I do this and this and this, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, I thought you posted photos.
yeah,
on
no, I
Instagram.
was like, wow, okay, this is
Yeah.
incredible. Even when you were at Elevate, like I
Yeah.
have a friend who's here right now who's like working or attending whatever, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that, I like, what is that? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And you're going, and you're like, never stop learning. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh God.
Well,
Still putting the same glitter eyeshadow on.
and even the
filming
fact
it,
that
yeah.
you're like aware of your LinkedIn, I'm like, I haven't touched my LinkedIn since I was working at like
Mine is-
Joey. in
Mine is a little
university.
archaic for sure.
Guys, update it. I'm just saying, it's more that I like the inspiration from other people, and
So
like
you still
other,
pay for it?
what, Elevate?
No, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn.
Because don't you have to like
Yeah.
fully
Yeah,
pay
pro.
for it now?
Yeah,
You used to be able to
Link-
kind of creep it.
LinkedIn Pro. I don't think it's overly expensive. But yeah, you just can like update your profile. You can upload different projects. It's a great way if you're trying to get different people to see you. Like I'm sure that I've gotten partnerships based on my LinkedIn from like
Really?
PR companies. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. So guys, the magic of
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Note to self, go on
Go
there.
to the crowd. Anyways, yeah, that was also a digression.
No, it gets me thinking though about nowadays, like the modern entrepreneur or whatever career-focused human has to wear multiple hats. They can't just be like the Instagrammer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, I actually do consulting and XYZ and this, and I do that.
Well,
like,
even this
you have
year
a
was my
whole
first
behind
one. I
the
was like, I have to like step into like a philanthropy like place, because I feel like there comes a point in your career where you're like, okay, I've done all these cool things, but I'm not helping people and I'm not doing anything that feels necessarily
Greater
like
than myself.
deeply meaningful. Yeah, or
Yeah.
greater than myself. And I feel like that was also a big topic this week from a lot of these people, like Akon, like he's dedicating his like whole thing to rebuilding Africa, like legitimately, like this is his
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
main focus right
He's
now.
been doing that for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's like what his whole keynote was about. And he like made some really good points about that. Like, at what point in your career do you like turn around and say like, okay, I kind of have to go back and like help
and do
people
more,
and
make
do
it
more.
bigger.
Well, because
Yeah.
it can be so meaningless and unfulfilling
Totally,
to
we're in
do
this,
what
like,
we're
highlight
doing. It's
reel.
just like, here, everyone, support consumerism, buy all this shit
Right.
you probably don't need. It can be
sucks.
really draining.
Yeah.
And I
I love that you brought this up because it's like, what do you do? There's so many things that, you know, even when like the simplest thing, donating your PR stuff.
Giving it to a women's
I've
shelter.
tried reaching out to some people. Like, I remember in Calgary specifically, I lived next to a women's shelter, and I used to just take the stuff.
But it
over,
has
and
to
it
be
was great.
like sealed. It can't be anything that's swatched.
No, like they would, because imagine, like I've swatched one shade on this like $100 palette. Like,
see, the places I donate to won't take it.
This is the thing, in Toronto, they're like, we need you to send photos of the products, lists of the ingredients, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, it's a foundation. Holy shit! Like,
trying to help.
You know what? No, there is one. You don't need to like send pictures or anything. It's called Sistering, and I think it's up on Bloor Street. But as long as it's like unused and brand new, it doesn't need to be like fully like in a package. But as long as it's not used, you can just drop off a bucket. And
because even the foundations, when they're like, our new 50 shades.
Yeah, you're like, I don't need it all.
Where do I take this?
It does get me thinking though, talking about all of like, especially because I think about it often too, being in the beauty industry and thinking like, oh, is all that I'm doing, am I just telling people to go out and buy things? Like, I hope my message is greater than just consumerism, because of course that's part of it, and I get that, and we all fall victim to it, and it's 100%. Fun and whatever, but I don't want that to be my like core big message. And I often think and reflect upon myself being like, oh, am I just portraying like this vain, like full of yourself, like how to make yourself look better, like all of these messages that I don't necessarily inherently fully believe in. Do you find that being in this industry, there are a lot of misconceptions about your career, who you are?
I do. I think a huge issue that I find is just feeling like I have to legitimize myself, like to other people, being like, oh, you just do Instagram, like must be so nice. And I'm like, man, I've got like full-on employees, like we spend like 24/7. Like you kind of have to really talk yourself up sometimes, because you could look at it either way.
Totally.
You could look at the positive side, being like, no, I work freaking hard for this. Like we do a lot. It's fun work. This is the difference. Some people are miserable in the work that they're doing. We just happen to be, for the most part, enjoying what we're doing. It is more fun. It's a fun world to be in, but it's still a lot of work. There's still a lot of hours.
Yeah.
And so you can sometimes think like, oh, all I do is talk about makeup, but it's like, no, according to the Canadian government, we are a full business. According to tax, CRA,
they're still coming after me.
I know.
It is a business.
Totally.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's kind of hard to try and convince people that what you're doing is a job, and it's almost more satisfying to just silently not say anything.
That's what I mean. Like, the silent success to me is like the best thing. Like, when people ask me what I do, I usually just say, oh, I'm a content creator. I won't go deeper than that. They don't need to know about the
I remember I did this recent ad where they were promoting it on Twitter, and that has brought a whole slew of like white American men attacking my posts about me like being an influencer. And I just responded to one. This guy like wrote this long thing. He looked like an old dad.
Like, how do you have the time, first of all?
He was from Texas.
Like, where?
And I was like, all right, Brian, like, looks like you need to brush up on influencer marketing, my friend, because it's just, people love to shit on it.
I know.
And people love to, I guess, attempt. They like, oh, this is so easy. Like, you're making money doing this. And then I'm like, yes, try and see. Let me know how easy it is.
That's always my response. I go, we all have access to the upload button or the post button. You think it's so easy and it's easy cash? Do it.
Then do it.
Like, no one's stopping you. But then they never want, they're never going to go further than that. But it's just easy to point a finger and be like, your job's so easy. You do nothing all day and just post selfies. And it's like, okay, but also, you need to catch up with the times, because it's like, how is that any different? Other than the fact that it seems more legitimate or professional to say, go to this photo shoot all day, and all day your goal is to shoot one image for an advertorial piece in the magazine. And you have 30 people on set, one's a stylist, one's a makeup artist, one's the photographer, one's the, like, all these different roles, just to shoot one image for one commercial picture, basically. Well, how is that any different than what we're doing? We've scaled it back, and we just have one of us or two of us now shooting that image that's still going to that many eyeballs, that's still having the same impact. Exactly. If not more return of investment, because you got more people directly buying things.
And that's why influencer marketing is so great for brands, because they're like, cool, I could spend $200,000 on a full day production, or just pay this one person this much to do the same job.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
God bless.
It's so funny, because you'll never, the thing you just have to think of is, like, people will never understand until they are in your shoes, which will never happen. That's not, you're never going to be in someone else's situation. So I think a lot of people get it. Celebrities get it.
many of them get driven crazy because they can't handle the people's whatever their comments. But and I used to think like, oh, it must be so nice to be a model. Like, what a cool life, blah blah. Now that I've even had a remote taste of like shoot days and whatnot, I'm like, hell no. Like, kudos to models, kudos to freaking actors and actresses, the time and the effort that, oh my God, did you watch Jennifer Lopez's like
behind the scenes of
Hustlers?
Hustlers? Yes, I
It's
did.
like making a movie in 29 days.
Yes.
I literally watched that and I felt like such intense uselessness because I was like, whoa, that woman puts in work. Like, that is so much work to do this and to create these productions, and you just
people
really
say that too. Like, they wonder why A-list celebrities get paid so much. It's like these people throw themselves at these roles.
No, this is their
And
life.
it's everything, exactly.
It's their life. They will do anything to
like
get the job
you think
done.
of a lifetime, and I remember actually really realizing that when I love like just Googling like past Oscar winners, you know?
Oh, lovely.
And I was like, it's kind of crazy to me that like this actress who, you know, you think of like Meryl Streep,
right?
Who in my mind she's like the greatest actress of all time, whatever. And I'm like, she'll have filmed like 20 movies in her lifetime. Yeah. Like, that's it. So yeah. I mean, it's like so much work for really like over time. It's not that much.
Sure.
No,
or not that many pieces, I guess.
It's not.
And so I don't know. I think about that all the time. And
It's so true.
that kind of.
It is frustrating though, getting all that criticism. Like, what I always say too, it is sometimes hard to digest, and I still like find myself like figuring out how to navigate it. It's like I would say like 80% of my job ends up in the hands of everyone else's iPhones, and everyone's eyeballs can be on it. Whereas it's like, if your job that you're doing, whether you're like in an office or whatever your job is, if 80% or 100% of your job was out to show in the public, like, and you were able to take criticism, like, it's just such a different. You have to be so in tune with what everyone thinks about every single thing that you're doing. And it's like, no human should, I think, be that accessible to that much criticism.
No, but that's, I could not quote anything, like, where I read this or whatever, but I remember something in philosophy being like, I think this was just in the Facebook era, so it wasn't even like the social media as it is now, right? But even in terms of like family and personal relationships, like I cry often about just the frustration of not being able to keep up with the people in my life. Like, I'm so bad at it. There's so many people who I meet. We meet so many people in our world, and I genuinely love them. These people are great. Like, you guys are so great. And I'm like, there's no time in a day to keep up with what all these people are doing, keeping up with all your family members. Like, in what world, never, did we have, like, I think I have, like, 60 cousins in total between all my four families, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to know what's going on with all of these people? Like, I can't keep up, and humans can't, and that's why there's a huge problem. That's why, like, therapy is such a strong thing right now. Like, people don't, I don't know, we've never had to deal with this much information, this onslaught of information, this onslaught of sensitivities, and then when you turn that into your job,
it's a whole other beast.
That's another layer.
Totally.
So yeah, and you know what? I was listening to your guys' imposter syndrome podcast because I just love that. And you guys were talking about positivity, and I know I've said this to both of you like individually, but your guys' like positivity towards everything, like in our industry, what you do, your daily life, it's so incredible because even when we like talk about these things, like it's so easy to become frustrated and kind of lose that sense of gratitude, I guess. When you can look at it from two sides of the coin. You can be so grateful and so excited about all these things, but then there's also a real side to it where you're like, okay, this is really sad. Like these things need to change. Like, how can I fix like the content I'm putting out to like have a better message to the world? Because a lot of what we do is so fluffy.
Incredible younger girl, I want to say she was 16, do that speech about
Greta.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I've seen it
she is
floating
my
around.
Yo.
Yeah, and she's got to be 16 years old. She has over 2 million people eyeballs on her, and every single post is about how people can change their behaviors towards helping climate change. It's insane. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! I need to stop posting about my lipstick. Like, but it just makes you realize.
And that's why it's kind of hard because I know in my personal life, like, no, I want to feel good. Like,
Yeah.
it is important to feel amazing in your own skin on a daily basis. It helps your life. It helps your confidence, whatever. We have a short time on this earth. I want to feel good.
Totally.
Every day I want to feel confident in myself. And I think that is so important. And that is an important thing. And beauty is a really beautiful world.
Well, it's actually really upsetting how, whether it's society or whoever has shaped this idea, but that beauty or makeup or all of that is like coming through a negative perspective of, oh, they're insecure, or oh, they need it because like they're so naive. Like, it's always had such this like,
I just completely
negative,
deeply disagree with
totally.
that.
And I've never resonated with that idea. I'm like, no, I'm allowed to want to put purple mascara
when you
on
were
and feel
talking
cool
about,
about like
being
I'm,
in high
that's
school,
okay.
Yeah, when you were talking about being in high school and not wearing makeup and working out and doing you, I was the total opposite. Like, I would wear gowns to school with my full-blown face of glam. And it's like, but that's my personal choice. And that was actually not in spite of my confidence. It was reflective of my confidence.
Or just like
Absolutely.
part of who you are, it's an
Absolutely.
extension of yourself.
Yeah, it was like very much my own, like, I say literally still to this day in my later 20s, like, my makeup ritual is like my peace. That's when I have my coffee and I have my Gossip Girl in the background. Like
Influence the youth.
I love that time and I love clothes and it's not a superficial thing. It's just a part of who I am as
Or
a
also,
And how you
why
express
can't we just go,
yourself.
sure,
Yes.
maybe it is surface level or superficial, but that's okay. We're allowed to find enjoyment in that.
Absolutely.
Like, why is that
it's
inherently
like how
bad?
It's in general, like how humans put value in materialistic things. Like
Yeah.
we do.
Totally.
You think of like your house burning down, and I immediately think of like all the things that I have that I'd be like, no, but my shirt, my favorite shirt, my shoes, like all these things, like we just inherently have value in these
Totally.
materialistic things, and that goes down to my lipstick. Like
Yeah.
I have one blush, like my first blush I ever had, and I'm like, I'll never let go of this
Yeah.
thing that makes me feel good, whatever. And I love that you said it's reflective of your confidence, because even though I was like a sports kid, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and I used to be like, well, oh my God, like this girl's wearing makeup, rah, rah, rah. But I would probably feel a hell of a lot better, and it was probably just me being salty that I wasn't wearing makeup and I didn't look
Right.
fabulous,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So I love that, and even like how you are, oh my God, when we were in Cabo, and you're like,
Cabo, yeah.
your insane ability to just always be on and like always put together, like you're always
Very
in,
much
in
a-
it's just
She's
great.
always, yeah,
That's
exactly.
Just,
It's
that's
her.
what I mean. It's just who I am. I
But
don't
I
even
love
think
it.
about it.
I
Like,
love it because
Yeah.
if anyone was like, "Oh wow, how extra," I'm like, "That's freaking great!" Like she's here, I'm like bitter about my sweatpants that I'm in,
Yeah.
whatever, and Tori's looking fabulous on the plane.
Right.
Like, cool,
I'm very
great.
much just like the world is my stage, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just out here performing. And like, I just need,
Yeah.
and I'm aware of that, but it's like, you have to be aware of your, like, it can sometimes be a fallback. Like, we've talked about this on the pod about how we are such extroverted people and how to us it's not annoying because that's exactly who we are, so we never think anything of it. But then we're like, wow, that must be so annoying for people to be around us because we don't even realize, like, we're functioning up here, like, at a crazy high energy level, just like,
Yeah.
and then, like, people around us must be like, these girls
No,
are
I
But
can tell you from a bitter bitch who like watches that. All I say and like give me some of that energy.
I know.
It comes from a jealous place.
But we always say we also
Absolutely.
have this inherent, like, rose-colored glasses where we
think-
think everybody loves us.
We're like, people must love this.
They're
It's like, no, these people are like,
everybody
these annoying bitches,
But
shut
then it's
up.
like
Oh.
funny because like I just think
We
it's
just-
like again goes back to just that inner confidence of like if you believe in yourself, you don't really care what other
Well,
people.
and that's
are
so
even
great.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel
I'm just
like,
like I think people love me because probably they hate me, but I'm like they love me.
I think also that when you are at a place where you are like truly happy or confident or feel like you don't have to like overthink all these things, that's when
Yeah.
you are the most yourself.
Yeah,
and
when you're not
us-
apologizing.
Totally,
Absolutely.
unapologetically yourself. When we are running the track laps with all these girls who are amazing sprinters and we're just like prancing in the background singing Taylor Swift,
Like they hate us. Like we were doing like cartwheels. It's like life
But we're
is
just
so
having
short.
fun.
Like, have
Like,
fun
yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
Like, stop being like.
But it's
and I
it's
wouldn't
just-
trade that for something though.
No,
Like
I wouldn't trade it.
I
I'm
feel
glad that we
like
feel-
life has made me bitter because I used to be that way. And then
We'll
it would
bring
be
it
like,
back, hang
it'd
out
be
with
like,
us
when
more.
are you gonna grow up?
Maybe it's
and
too
I'm like,
much
why
criticism.
does
People-
growing up have to involve like losing your fun
Yeah.
spark? Like
I
hell
hope-
no. I hope I'm not as bitter as these.
So this is the
Totally.
question: what has made you bitter?
Yeah.
This is therapy with
I
Jack
used
and
to,
Tor.
I said that like 4 years ago. I remember saying to a couple people that I felt very jaded by the industry, and I was like definitely going through a moment where I was like,
I'm going through this moment.
this jaded.
This moment
Yeah.
where I think it's just been I'm very much an outgoing person.
Yeah.
Love my solitude, whatever. YouTube has been very isolating.
Yeah.
Oh,
in
of
general. And I
course.
think that I've just in the attempt of trying to become better and like making better content on YouTube and whatnot, I think that I've just completely lost like any kind of. I haven't had balance. I haven't been
This is my problem.
I haven't been separating my YouTube. Like YouTube has become my life. I feel like I don't exist outside of it. And then therefore when I think too deeply on work problems and all these things,
They're you problems. Yeah.
it's me.
Yeah.
It's me. These are all of my problems. These are all of my things.
Yeah.
And where people like go to work and then come home and they shut off and they can,
Isn't
live
that
their
the
life.
craziest
I'm like, no,
concept?
but this is I have nothing. I don't exist outside of YouTube.
Yeah.
It's this like life crisis.
It is
so
the craziest
weird.
concept that I think people can just go Friday night, they're done work, and their Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, they can just not think about work at all. Like
No,
that
I
concept
know.
always kind of blows
Dan
my
and I-
mind.
Dan and I are
always
trying-
work on weekends.
Yeah.
Weekends are my most productive times because
People aren't
there's no
emailing you.
emails, there's
yeah.
no calls,
Totally.
there's nothing. That's like my filming time. That's
Totally.
the best time. But I do think it's kind of like it's just been years of now editing myself.
Yeah.
Now, if you watch my old videos, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, who's this crazy bitch?" Like, and then it would just be like, "Stop saying all those annoying voices. Stop speaking like this." Blah blah blah. And I'd be like, "Okay."
And then you find
I'm
yourself
annoying
aware
people.
though.
Start
and-
to lose a bit of
Yeah.
yourself.
You
in that, for
do,
sure.
and I do feel like I don't know. I'm like trying to like
That's so-
make my way back.
I feel like though everyone has those moments. Like I remember I had a moment when I was like maybe like mid-teenager-y years, and I kind of felt like the world was owing me something, which is the worst way to approach anything. I was like, I've worked really hard. I've been a good kid. I've done this. I'm owed whatever I thought success or career or whatever like I thought I was owed
Really?
that. Yeah, which was a horrible way. Because then I was always, jaded. I'd been like, oh, why is so-and-so getting this? They didn't even work for that. Or why, like, and I would be kind of spiteful about it. And then I came to this point where I was like, lol, who do you think you are? Like, life does not owe
Yeah.
you anything.
Oh, no.
And that has honestly really shifted my mindset. Because it's like, yo, you can be the hardest working person. You can be putting in the most time. You can be doing whatever. You're still not owed people to like what you're doing. Like, I don't know. It really changed my
I feel
mindset.
like it's the opposite for me. I feel like my struggle has been thinking I'm never good enough, that I never deserve these things.
But it's immense. You're very like gracious though, and that is a part of being grounded.
But it's almost like too much.
Yeah.
It's like I we go on these trips and
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm like, the amount of money you spend on this, like I can't even think of like why I'm
Totally.
here, like what
What
and
value am I bringing? Like,
it's almost like over promising things, you know, like
Yeah.
you think like, oh wow, okay, like maybe I can do this, like I'm gonna make this amazing thing, and then
Yeah.
like when you fall short of your own expectations, blah blah
Yeah.
blah,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay,
this was the whole
I'm done.
imposter. This is the whole episode though.
But in that episode, I was talking about how like it is inherently, I think, more of a female problem, and I think it stems back to people not like I kept using the word value. It's like you have to have a value, stamp on who you are, and how do you present that to the world? Like,
well, the
It's-
one thing that kind of saves me when I think about this, in the sense of imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
is like when I think of these brands and whatever these things, I'm like, it's not me. They don't give a shit about me.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's
Yeah.
not me personally. It's not my look. It's not whatever. It's my audience.
yeah,
It's business.
Yeah.
It's business, and they just want the numbers. And I try to like separate myself from that.
Yeah.
Somehow to be like, okay, like yeah, I'm super lucky to have these numbers, and that's it. It's not the brand. It's not me. I don't have to like live up to this like weird image I've like put in my brain of
Right.
what they're expecting. It's
Yeah.
the numbers that I'm providing. You know.
For me, mine is a little different in the sense that it's less of a personal thing, but it's more, I feel like I'm very impacted and like absorb other people around me. Like whether I'm reading stories on Twitter and hearing about this rough go that someone's had and how many jobs they're working to just pay
I
this bill.
always say this. You are very empathetic. Like
But that's where I feel the guilt because I go, I'm not saving lives. I'm just putting on makeup and like,
Yeah,
why do I get this great life? Because I'm not working any harder. It's just a different type of work, and I just happen to be in this position where I get these lucky experiences.
Yeah,
but Joe
I can't
Blow
believe
is.
you guys feel bad. Don't feel
It's not
bad.
that I
You're
feel-
both fabulous.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Living
It's
your
not a
life.
personal thing. Like I know I work hard.
Living your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, don't my
it's-
sparkle.
I've always thought I
You're
work
good at-
hard. I'm very much like I deserve to be here. I deserve.
But that's
Michelle
what I'm
Obama
saying.
quote: "I deserve my seat at the table." I deserve
But that's
that.
okay. But my thing is more, I deserve my seat at the table, and I know I do.
But it's different.
so and so also deserves
No,
a seat.
no,
Like
no, no.
that's what I.
So in terms, like you saying that people like are having a rough go, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you've walked a different path.
Yeah,
You know, it's the exact same thing that you were saying earlier. Like you could click the upload button. At the end of the day, that person, like you think of anyone in your family or whatever, anyone who's done something different. It's like you went to school to become a doctor. You made that choice. You went to school for
It's your
social
own
work,
path.
whatever. You've done that. And anyone who is envying your life has the option to change
No,
theirs.
you're right.
It's, oh my God, I was
That's
listening
what, I
to
think I just feel like guilty because I'm like, I want you to be like thriving, and I know you're not happy or you're
Yeah.
doing all this stuff, and like I want you to like, why do I get all this
I
great
was
stuff?
Because you're
listening
working
to
hard.
you know, what's his name? Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss.
Oh, who is
the
this?
work week, 5-hour work week or whatever.
Oh.
I was listening to something he said, and he was interviewing
Oh.
this guy. I can't remember whatever, but he was like, "It's not your conditions, it's your decisions." And I will like carry that
Whoa.
quote with me forever because it's like anyone
your
in your life who's like expressing jealousy or if you're feeling guilt about any situation,
Right.
obviously there's exterior factors that contribute to things.
Sure.
But for the most part,
There's inherent privilege. There's all those
it's,
things.
it's fear that prevents people from changing their situation, laziness, comfort, whatever.
Or some people love a good sob story and love to.
Yeah. So
Air out their
it's
problems.
like at the end of the day, you have chosen the path that you're on,
True.
and you have put in the work to do what you're doing. You have spent years uploading videos. Someone else hasn't. So that's what you're doing, and that's what comes with this job.
Stunning.
Yeah, I think there's ways to still help people.
Yeah,
but
it's just like a.
yeah,
a great
so
speech.
good.
No, it is true. It's also though comforting to know that a lot of people also have these similar feelings, and I think it is one thing though when you are thrown into this very lavish, excessive world like our industry tends to be. It does make you self-reflect and be like, whoa, what? Like it's a weird mixture of gratitude and then also like this weird maybe deep insecurity or whatever also mixed together, and
it's
that's
also,
what it is.
And I think the hard thing is too is you go on Twitter or Reddit or whatever, and people
Sure.
are just like, misery loves company. People are happily bitching. You see a meme and you're like, oh my God, I have felt that. Yes. We can't express our frustrations or discomforts or sadness because, according to the people on the internet, we should be nothing but gracious and feeling gratitude. Whereas, at the end of the day, it is a job.
Right.
Yeah, we are working. It is a business, and there are frustrations, and where you can come home and like talk to your partner about, you know, like a shitty day at work. Like
Yeah.
we have no one to express our shittiness to.
No, you can't.
And so
air that out at all.
that's the tough part. It's like you're not allowed to complain. Basically.
Totally.
How has working with your partner been? Because you guys work together, right?
Yeah, so it's been a year. It's been a year now, and you know, it's. I think we both had like rose-colored glasses on at the start, and Dan and I really do communicate well in our relationship, and so I think that has been great. But we are definitely hitting a part where
It's hard because you're saying your life is working.
That's
and
the
he's
thing.
Also,
And so we talk about it all the time. Like I kept Dan a secret for like the first like 6 months of us.
Yeah, do you
dating.
share him a lot publicly online?
Not really.
Okay.
I
yes and no.
did that once. We'll never do it again.
Oh.
Burn that. That was a mistake. Don't share your love online.
No,
Like not with him, but with another experience.
yeah.
You shared a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
And that was brutal.
Oh.
People just become super attached.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
it's just
They see the boyfriend
going
as my
through
makeup and they
going
fall in
through
love
a
with the
breakup
relationship.
Is like the worst thing on the
Oh,
planet.
God.
I've seen some recently
it's
videos.
just
and
not-
it makes me sad.
No, not worth it. Dan is my sweet secret,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, he was in school and doing his own thing, and we, like, he was my outside life.
Yeah.
He was my separate life. Like, it was
Yeah.
so nice to be able to come home and shut off and not think about YouTube for anything.
Right.
And now that those have been merged, it is, we, like, as a couple are really struggling to find separation because you know, we're on vacation and
then
we,
you're like,
we
oh,
get,
but I
we
need
get
this photo.
inspiration.
Yeah.
It'll be like, oh my God, I just
Yeah.
thought of such a cool video. Like, we can't escape it. We
Yeah.
always talk about it, and
Yeah.
and we've kind of like, we're like, oh shit, like, how do we go back? I don't know.
Yeah.
But working together, like, as individuals, like,
Has been
it's
great.
great.
Yeah.
It's great. We work super well together. It's just now been trying to find a life outside of what
Right.
we do.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
I was actually talking. You know, Jenny Bird.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was talking to her yesterday, and she was saying the same thing. Like, her husband was.
Oh, works with her.
They did Jenny Bird together.
Oh, I
like,
didn't know
as
that.
a business. Like, he ran the business with her, and she was like,
Oh.
that had to end, like, to save our marriage.
Yeah.
Like, he could no longer be a part of it. I don't know what he does now, but
Yeah.
and she was saying, like, particular things that they do to like maintain individuality like in their lives, and it was so cool to hear that. I'm like, because everyone,
true.
it's all like peaches and cream, like
No,
everything's perfect, and I'm like, I don't know, tell me what you do to like stay
I
sane.
cannot imagine.
It was cool.
Yeah, Adam and I definitely keep our lives like in that way, like as separate as we can, because I think it's helpful, because then you also have that backboard to pitch ideas to, and someone coming at it from a very clear head, because they're not truly involved. Like he'll ask me for advice all the time about things, and I find it really easy to look at it from an outsider's perspective, with a clear head. And same for him.
You guys are incredible with maintaining like independence.
Yeah, I think we're just lucky too, because we both came at it being so passionate about different sectors, like different similar industries, but different sectors of the industry. So it's like we understand each other's world, which is obviously important, knowing the long hours, the commitments, all of these things.
Right.
But then beyond that, I think it's really important that he has his own passions and I have my own passions, because Torri still has to be Torri and Adam still has to be Adam before we can be Torri and Adam.
Yeah.
And I think my friends
What's up, guys? It's Tatum.
It's Tatum. Jack and Adam have this like hilarious YouTube channel, but I think my friends can attest to the fact that like
I agree.
I can be Torri.
You guys have a
without
YouTube.
Adam.
Sorry, wait. You have,
No, but Jaclyn and Adam have gotten up to some shenanigans over the summer, and so they have this YouTube like it's never been edited, but there's videos
film
that
these
exist. And
videos.
they're like, "What's up, guys? It's Jadam," and they like do these like Jaclyn and
what?
Adam.
I need
I'll
to
show
see
you after.
this.
And it's like hilarious content.
I'm like, you
that
can't
makes
just
no sense.
gloss over this.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
what is
I'll
this, Jadam?
share. Actually, it's a story that we do need to share in the podcast once, because I was talking about it in a Get Ready With Me about I thought I shared the eyelash glue story on the podcast.
Didn't we?
No, and everyone said that I didn't share it.
Oh.
And that was the birth of Jadam. So
Basically, we were sneaking alcohol into a festival, but eyelash glue was involved, and Jaclyn and Adam were the masterminds behind.
And the eyelash
operation.
glue saved the
It was called
operation.
Operation Pringles.
I'll explain, but we will talk about it more thoroughly.
I look forward to this story.
But that was the birth of Jadam. And there's just been situations after where like something needed to get fixed or get done,
Like
and we're
at
like,
my birthday.
Jadam's on it. And we just like, oh yeah, at
Anyways.
Torcella we had to blow up like 18 giant inflatable like pool floaties by air. Like we didn't have a pump or a
no,
machine.
did you faint?
Oh yeah, and Adam tapped out after like half of a floaty.
yeah.
I did like 4. I'm laying on the bed. I'm like, Team Jadam's got this, and we're just.
Oh my
crazy.
God, get a pump.
Anyways,
Get a pump.
Anyways,
long story
keep
short.
the passion alive in your relationships, you know.
Blow up some pool floaties.
Yeah,
Start a YouTube
seriously.
channel together.
Oh my God.
I feel like this episode has had a lot of gratitude, and we always say this, we think that's really important with anything that you do. We love to end the podcast off with roses and thorns. Now, I know I introduced this to you.
I did it with Dan the other night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So I didn't realize. I thought she like would have
We're
known.
breaking into the household tonight
Yeah,
with
we're-
roses and thorns.
Yeah.
I dare you guys at home to do your roses and thorns tonight at the end of the day. But no, when we were in New York, I made the whole Clinique team. I'm like, guys, we're at dinner. We're going to do roses and thorns. So you know how it works, but for anyone new, basically we do 1 thorn, which is 1 negative thing we want to get off our chest. 2 roses, which are 2 positives from the day or the day before, because we film these in the morning. It is bright and early today. And then 1 rosebud. Are you still sweating under the lights, or how are you feeling about it?
No. I was thinking. I was like, oh no.
Oh, you're
what am
thinking about your things.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
And then one rosebud, which is one thing you're looking forward to.
Nice.
So, Tor, let's give our guests some time to think. Why don't
Sure.
you start us off?
Thorn is
She
that
seems a little stressed. So.
Thorn is that I was testing my allergy yesterday and ate quinoa.
Oh,
It was honestly just so dumb. I had this idea. I was getting a salmon, and I was like, you know
like
what?
you're fully like doctor told you are.
No.
My mom has the
I
same
always
thing,
have this
yeah.
like very specific intolerance to it, is what I would call it. Not even an allergy. It's like an intolerance.
But you
where
just
I'm
know. You know
She
how you
shits her
react to it.
pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time.
And so
Whispers into my
yeah, so
I
I
hope
was
they
like,
didn't hear
you know
that.
what,
Tori
I'm just gonna
shits
take
her
a
pants.
risk. Anyways, the risk was not worth the reward. I was very sick all morning. So anyways, that was for sure
Like this
the thorn of
morning.
the day. Yeah, because I ate it last night. So like, when
Can I
woke
read
up
you this
this morning,
text that I get this morning? This is the text I get from Tori.
Stop.
It's Poddy Talk. Come on.
Okay.
So I wake up. Oh God, why are the emails always going at this hour?
I can't believe you have notifications on.
I know.
My dude, OMG, I ate quinoa last night. I am deceased. Worst decision ever. LOL. I thought maybe I changed. I did not change. Been shitting insane.
Oh my God. Wait, what is that from?
What is that from? Like,
What?
hello, my dudes.
I don't know.
Like,
I
my
just said
dudes.
it. I was on the
Someone like says this.
I don't
Why
know.
can't
My
I think of
dude.
that? My dude.
My
Oh my
dude,
god.
OMG.
But anyways, I
Sorry.
feel like a skinny legend, so whatever. It's
Oh,
worth it.
wow.
Okay, 2 roses. I did a trampoline and reformer Pilates class yesterday morning.
Yo,
So
you gotta stop kicking me. I'm
Sorry.
so sorry.
So also feeling like a
the
skinny
whole
legend
episode, I'm
that
just.
way. Have I been
She's like,
kicking
hello,
you?
yeah,
I
the whole
can't reach
time.
the
It's getting
ground.
worse now, though, which
You
is
gotta
why.
get a footstool.
I
know.
have shaky leg syndrome. I can't help it. I actually do.
Whenever she does something bad, she'll be like, "I'm allergic. Oh, I have a syndrome." I'm like,
I do.
"No, you don't."
I have restless leg syndrome. It was actually diagnosed, so don't be rude. A lot of people struggle with it. And then another rose is
That I have to deal with all the time.
another rose is that I'm speaking on the tech panel tomorrow, which is exciting.
That's so cool.
Again, love stages, love audiences, so I'm sure that'll be hilarious.
That's
I still need
amazing.
to see Life with Boys.
Oh, you gotta check it out.
Still need to watch
And
this.
then a rose bud is, I'm going to Niagara this weekend for a wine tour. It's my sister's birthday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay,
That'll be fun.
you go to that area so much.
Yeah, I love Niagara.
And I want
Prince
to
Edward.
see. Like,
Have you
all
not
the-
been?
No.
Can we go
we
on
should
a?
do
Go.
one.
That'd be so
Wait,
fun.
come with us.
Yeah.
Can we go like in the fall, like when it's
Yeah.
fall?
Yes.
That'd be
We
so
should do
pretty.
that.
Go do a little like
Wine tour.
Yes.
weird photo
That's
shoot
what
in the
I'm
fall.
saying.
Cute.
Stop making it a work thing. Don't think about the photo
Let's
shoot.
go drink wine.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Stunning.
Take it away, Alana.
Oh yeah.
we're skipping.
Oh no. Go.
No, go. You're our
A
guest.
thorn.
Thorn. Ooh. Thorn. Ooh. Oh. You know what? Also, I'm also affected by food. I could
What
show
did
you
you
the
eat?
photo of what I ate.
Oh. I was
So-
like, don't show me a photo.
Was it last night? Oh God, 2 nights ago, I didn't eat dinner. Dan and I went to Shoppers, and I never do this, by the way. This is
Okay.
a very rare thing. Like, I don't keep candy and shit in my house.
Yeah.
Bought everything.
Oh no.
And over the last, so that night plus all day yesterday, we ate
Candy.
all of it, kind of anticipating that this would be like a long-lasting cupboard
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
And I have been farting since.
Oh,
And
no.
it's brutal. Like,
what
even
candies
right now,
were your-
I know I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna just
Kill it.
expel everything that
Kill
has been
the
holding
bathroom
in
out
this
there.
moment. So that has been. I'm like, why did I do that to myself?
That's so
Why?
potty
I
talk.
hate
I love
that,
that.
it's like so self-induced. That's what I hate.
Yo,
about
it was like the Reese Buttercups, and like you know the ones that come in the bag, and so you
So
just
good.
keep
Yeah.
the caramel M&Ms. Oh,
Yum.
so good. A rose was yesterday. I had canceled berries
Oh.
at 7 a.m.
And that was a rose?
No, and then I woke up at like 6:30, and I was like,
Oh, I
I'm
feel
gonna
good.
go.
Oh.
And I went, and that freaking never happens. I'm the laziest little bitch ever. And I
That
went,
is
and
not
I was
true.
like, hell yeah, this is the best.
That's
Wow,
so
that's
good. That is a
inspiring.
rose.
Yeah, no, that was nice. Another rose? I don't know. Oh my god.
My
This
rings.
is so like superficial, but like these are my real nails.
Wow.
And I got them done yesterday, and I was like, this is the
Oh.
first time in like years that I have not had like gels or whatever. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Is this just polish or is it
yeah,
gel?
it's just polish.
Oh.
And I was like,
They look very
I'm
good.
a woman. This is the first time I've had nails.
Red nails
Anyway,
too, so classy.
Rosebud. I'm getting a massage later today.
Oh,
yes.
I'm like,
amazing.
I'm like,
Self-care.
fix my neck.
Where are you going?
Like the Four Seasons.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
Yo, they have RMTs. I did not know that.
So you can write it
You can
off?
write it off, baby.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, massage out all my knots.
I always go to the
Help.
Four Seasons.
That
I
is
love it.
amazing.
Do you?
Yeah, I love
Oh,
it. And the
You go
Shangri-La.
with your mom. Yeah,
They
it's
have the
always so
cutest-
cute.
yeah.
Yeah, we go all the time.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Take it away, Jackie. Jack.
Okay, so Thorn, you know what? I heard, had some Bali shitting stories that we meant to dive into, we didn't get to, but we'll just have to bring you back for another
Oh.
poo-themed episode.
Oh, that was
So that was a
brutal.
Thorn. I didn't hear those stories today, but that's okay.
Oh,
I didn't hear this.
That was my Thorn.
I'm so sorry.
I was hoping, but you know what?
I've ruined her day.
You've
Yes.
ruined my... The Thorns that Allana didn't tell me the time she should have
didn't
pants
tell
in
you
Bali.
food.
Was it Bali?
No, it's France.
Okay.
I was gonna let that slide.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm the one who shit herself.
Oh, you're the one who shit yourself in Bali. All my friends are shitting their pants across
Oh
the globe.
my god, we're all dying.
Damn. Okay, so that's my rose. We'll dive into it another time, though. And then Thorn. my rose is that you came on this podcast. It was so fun to have you. It was good. It honestly is so fun that we get to do this, and like it truly just feels like whether the camera was on or off, we'd be sitting down having these conversations. So it's honestly so fun.
It was nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's so cute.
And then another rose is. We're going, this is more of a rosebud. I'm going to do my rosebud. We're going indoor skydiving on Friday, me and Tor, and I just love that energy.
Have you done it?
I've done it once before, but
I've never.
It looks so fun, scary.
I feel like
fun.
I'm going to thrive on Friday. We'll see.
Wow.
And then my other rose is that we're actually doing a little like photo shoot after this, like our Poddy Talk like team photos, so that'll be fun. Yeah.
You guys are so cute.
Yeah.
We need to go run out to Zara and buy an outfit and then return it, so don't be fooled. Anyways,
well, thank
this
you for
has
being
been
on episode 20.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been so fun.
Guys, you're special. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And make sure you guys tune in next week for episode 21.
Yes, and if you do want to follow Allana, if you're not following her already, well, one, what have you been doing? But two, you can follow on Instagram at Allana Rama. And on YouTube, are you Allana Rama on YouTube too? Or are you Allana Davison now?
Well, you can never change your handle on YouTube.
Right, your URL is
So
Allana Rama.
Allana Rama, but it is Allana Davison.
We'll put all the links directly to follow her down below, so go check them out. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Bye. Ba-da-da.
Bye.